your name, what do you do, and what is your function in the next World Cup?
Chris Canetti, President of the Houston 2026 World Cup Bid Committee.
Many people say that you brought world soccer to Houston. I mean, I don't know if you were involved with the Barcelona versus America thing in 2006 when I got here in 2005, but you did brought the MLS All-Star, you brought Manchester United. What has been your contributions to bringing world soccer to Houston?
Well, of course, as president of the Houston Dynamo and having worked for the Dynamo for over 13 years, we were bringing major soccer events to Houston on an annual basis. We brought more here starting in 2012 after we opened BBVA Compass Stadium. But there's been a history of soccer coming to Houston, whether it be at BBVA Stadium or at NRG Stadium, even dating back pre-Dynamo. To major soccer events coming through here. So we've got a city that has a great track record for hosting major soccer events. Promoters want to bring their soccer events here because they know that when they do, it's going to turn out successfully.
You probably answered this right now, but you're in whatever this make decision in Geneva or whatever they're going to make this decision with FIFA. What was your pitch to you having here in Texas? A great competitor. I wasn't even going to mention Austin because Austin has a small stadium, but you have a great competitor, which is Dallas. What was the pitch to make? Why Houston and not Dallas?
Well, we didn't. I'll tell you why our pitch was about Houston. We really feel like we have a complete package here to be able to host a FIFA World Cup in 2026. First and foremost, we're the fourth largest city in the United States, the largest city in the state of Texas. We're easily accessible from around the world with our 2 international airports. You can get to Houston we have more flights to South and Central America than any other competing city in the World Cup. We can get to all the inhabited continents with direct travel from Houston, so you can get here easy. And with the World Cup being spread out across North America, once in North America, you can get to Houston, to and from Houston, from all the other cities where the World Cups will be played. And of course, we've got a great proximity to Mexico, where there'll be 3 matches played as well. But aside from that, we have all the world-class infrastructure in place, from NRG Stadium to the practice facilities, to the hotels. And of course, we've got a great track record of hosting major sporting events. We've hosted more major sporting events here in Houston than any other city since 2004, including Super Bowls and Final Fours and All-Star games and major international soccer competitions like Copa America, Centenario, Gold Cup, etc. And of course, we are the most diverse region in the United States as well. So we really bring this complete package of assets to the table that make Houston a great city, a great region to host a FIFA World Cup.
My dad once told me that you can have the greatest idea, you can have the greatest pitch, you have to have the greatest. You could be on the right side on history, on facts, on what say you, but presentation is 60% or 70% of getting your point across. You give me the facts right now. They were not presented in a cold way, but you gave me the facts of why Houston is a great city. How did you present this in an amicable way that to convince folks that perhaps I've never been to Houston before?
Yeah.
All of those stuff.
Well, there's a particular spirit about Houston that we feel as Houstonians that we're aware of that allows us to mobilize and come together to make big things happen. It's something that we're truly familiar with and accustomed to, living here and being Houstonians. So that was a spirit that we needed to convey to the committee. And we spent a lot of time over the course of the last few years, in particular during FIFA's site visit to Houston back in October, to try to showcase this spirit, to show this collection of individuals from across our city who are enthusiastic, committed, and invested in the idea of hosting a World Cup here in 2026. And luckily, we had the weight of this community behind us and the force of it behind us, and it was hopefully evident to see that we're not just about great stadiums, great airports, great hotels, transportation networks, and things like that. But there's a spirit of our people that enable us to pull off big things and drive successful events.
And here to play devil's advocate, here it gets pretty darn hot, and probably this is going to be a summer World Cup. What are you going to do about energy is indoors, I know, but the training wise, for the facilities, for the folks, how are you going to get these teams to be able to train safely in 104 degree Fahrenheit weather?
Yeah, listen, it could be hot anywhere in the United States in the summertime. We've compared the temperatures to Houston to other places, DC, Atlanta, Florida, even Kansas City, the Midwest, other potential cities, I think are all dealing with the same heat issues. Of course, it can be hot here as well. We're blessed to have the retractable roof dome, as you said, for the matches, and to have climate controlled conditions for the matches, and also to make sure that thunderstorms don't come through and delay the matches, especially when these matches are broadcast to over 190 million people worldwide. But heat's just something we're going to have to contend with, just like everybody else. And whether it's practices or even some of the ancillary events that we're going to have, we'll definitely leave no stone unturned in terms of making it safe and comfortable for the athletes and the fans.
Two more and we're done. This announcement on Thursday, if it let's just say that knock on wood or knock on metal, let's say you got it. You got the World Cup, you got this whole city. I have a good feeling it's going to happen, Chris. What's next?
Yeah, so if we are fortunate on Thursday and we're named one of the host cities here in the United States, we will convert ourselves from a bid committee to a host committee, and we'll go right to work planning the World Cup, really about 4 years, almost to the day from now, when it'll be played here in Houston. So first things first, we'll head to New York City early next week for some meetings with FIFA. It'll be a kickoff where we're going to learn a lot in terms of what their plans are for their interactions with the host committees. But we've got a good model here that we can follow from other major events that have come through, whether it be Super Bowls or Final Fours, in terms of how we structure ourselves, in terms of how we raise the money we need to raise, and in terms of how we work with the promoters, in this case FIFA, to make sure it's a great event. But probably most importantly, to make sure that once the event has come and gone and the final whistle is blown, that the event helps make Houston a better place. There's a positive impact and a positive legacy that's left in our city.
It will be journalistic. What do you call it? Let me just reset my car here so I won't turn off. Journalistic negligence for me not to ask you this. Herrera is coming at the end of the month. We always talked about it when you were in the Dynamo. That would be cool to have like with proper respect with Landin and all those guys who came beforehand. But a reference of the Mexican soccer team. Now Herrera comes to town. What's your opinion about that? And also, once again, the Heat, almost 35 years old, down on heel. He's like he's on the other side of 30, and he has never played in these conditions in his life before.
Yep. Well, Herrera is obviously a great signing for the Dynamo, and congratulations to Pat Onstadt, the general manager, and the owner Ted Siegel for making that signing. Those things are never easy to do. For a long time, the Dynamo have been in pursuit of a big named Mexican superstar, and it's great to see the club finally land that player. And it'll be exciting over the next few weeks to see him make his debut in Orange. And hopefully, first and foremost, he, as an excellent player on the field, he makes a strong impact on the team and brings them lots of victories, which will bring lots of fan support. But also off the field, I think there's a huge opportunity to generate a lot of excitement in the Mexican community around him as a player. So it looks like a good signing for the Dynamo. It's great that there's an investment being made by the ownership in players of this stature. And again, very, very optimistic about what this signing will mean for the team, and excited to watch it unfold.
And about the Heat?
Like I said, the Heat is a challenge for everybody here. But if you look back to the early days of the Dynamo, the Heat was an advantage to us. We hold the longest winning streak in MLS history, or longest unbeaten streak in MLS history, because coming to Houston was a tough place to play. We used the heat to our advantage. The players train in this heat; they become accustomed to this heat, and it needs to be something that's used for home field advantage when games take place there at PNC Stadium.
Very well done. Okay. Now that you're